Hello and welcome to the second recap in this Hardcore Barbarian guide. In this recap I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to get from Act 2 all the way through to Act 5. And this is mainly going to be some tips on some skills, some resistances and how to generally fight as a barbarian. So a lot to cover in hopefully little time. So let's get straight into it with resistances. Act 2, you want lightning resistance as your priority. Your resistance isn't going to be as high as this, but if you can aim to get 20, 30 resistance, that'll be a good starting point. How do you do that? You can shop for gloves at Fara and try and get some resistance on gloves like this one, which is cold resistance, but you can get all different types. So I've done this already and we have these gloves, 19 lightning resistance, so that's going to put you in really good place to get through Act 2. All your other items, you're mainly going to want a 2 open socket body, which once you hit level 17 you're going to make your stealth talent. If you haven't found a decent helmet, a 2 socket open helmet, and you can put some Val runes in to give you high fire resistance, which is going to help you later on. But for Act 2, lightning resistance, best place to get them, gloves, where you can shop for fire. How do we get through Act 2? Most of it is just simple gameplay using double swing on our right click, and we just want to take our time going through killing all the monsters. Eels do a lot of lightning resistance, so just be careful around the eels, although they do give good experience, so they are worth killing. So what other little tips and tricks have I got for you? You've got Howl, we've got Jump or Leap, we've already discussed them in the first recap, and we've got Taunt. So when it comes to going down some of the dungeons, so I'll just jump to Canyon of the Magi. The Ravelers who raise the dead can be quite a pain sometimes, but what we can do, if we find some, even ghouls, we can just taunt them towards us. If you use taunt on a ghoul, he's not casting magic at you, you can now kill him nice and easily. Let's try and find some Ravelers. If we taunt the Ravelers, they won't raise the dead, which will make it much easier. You can just howl if you don't want to fight. There's none actually in this little dungeon. Quickly check the next dungeon. Again, lots of monsters you don't want to kill, just howl. You want to aim to finish Act 2 at around level 20. If you're not level 20, you can come back into these tombs in the Canyon of the Magi and farm for experience here. Let's see, there's a Raveler, Unraveler, so we can taunt him. He's going to run towards us and he's not going to raise the dead now. But if we find another Raveler, if I kill all of these undead creatures, you can see I'm not getting very far because they keep getting raised by these Ravelers or Unravelers, but if I taunt them over to me, they're not going to raise the dead anymore. Again, we can howl, we can jump. So apart from that, just take your time, take it nice and slow, get your lightning resistance, use Howl, use Taunt, you should be good to get all the way through it. The last boss can be a little bit difficult, so to make our life a little bit easier, you want Thawing Potions. Thawing Potions will increase your cold resistance the same way Antidotes did. So drink a couple of Thawing Potions and that'll help you on the last fight. He is a little bit of a difficult fight, so just make sure you've got plenty of potions, keep your life topped up. If you need to come back to town, just do that. And you should be able to get through to Act 3 with little problems. Act 3, we now need that high fire resistance. So this is where you're going to have your 2-socket helmet and put your 2 Rattle runes in if you manage to find them. Or if you didn't, again you can shop for fire resistance gloves, although the gloves I recommend for Act 3 is gloves like this, which give you a percentage chance to cast Frost Nova. So if I swap them over, because in Act 3 there is really high density of mobs, especially when you get to the Flare jungle. So we'll show you that, and the chance to cast Frost Nova is a really strong defensive tool. Look, there you go, Frost Nova went off there and all these monsters are slow. They do a lot less damage to us. This little shaman is casting fire, that does really high damage if you have a low fire resistance. And again, just take your time going through. You can kill everything because it's decent experience, especially in the Flare jungle where we've got a high density of mobs. And as a general rule to run through Act 3, although it does get a little bit complicated, as you exit the town there will be a river. So this river here, as a general rule, you want to follow the river, keep the river on the right hand side of your character, and when you find an opening in the forest, you want to go into the opening. Or you might find a stone bridge like this, that when you cross you're on a little island and there's a second stone bridge. In this situation you will always have a little opening to the jungle like we have here, and you come through, you check what's in the opening and you're looking for the correct dungeon to go down, just following your quest line. The first dungeon is the Spider Cavern, then you want the Flare dungeon in the Flare jungle. So just follow the river. It might happen, it might occur where the river splits and goes in 2 directions. Just follow the river in both directions if you need to. So ours jumps over here, we've got another double bridge. Double bridge leads into another entrance, you go through and check it. Continue to follow the river and we get to another double bridge. Double bridge, you always have an opening. There's our opening, you check there. And then we end up, you might not get it, but in this run we did. This river now splits off to the northwest, which enters the Great Marsh, which you don't need to go into. You might have to go into it if you're, depending on what your map looks like, but we've got a 4-way split, so we've come, let me change the map for you, and it'll be easier to see. So on our map, it's a little bit difficult to tell, but where my cursor is, we've followed the river northeast, and this is our big four-way split where it's obviously led northeast, it heads right, get me directions correct, it heads left, heading northwest, it also heads straight, being northeast, and right, being southeast. You want to go down every route, and hopefully one of them is the Flare Jungle, and that's where you'd have to go to progress the quest. And again, just keep following the river as far as you can. Where you're going to get a little bit stuck in Act 3, and where potentially you might die, is when it comes to fighting the Trivinkle members. So when you eventually get through the jungle, you'll arrive in a couple of little makeshift towns, head through them, and you'll eventually get to Travinkle. And if you keep heading northeast, you'll eventually get to this area with all of these council members, and these do a lot of damage. So what I suggest is, instead of running in all gun-ho, you can instead, as I've managed to do here, just pull one back at a time. Now you can do that even easier using taunt, but we can pull one with taunt, and then we can just fight him one at a time. Specials you can't use taunt on the specials, but in this situation we can jump to a safe place. We could maybe go round the side. There you go, got one by himself. We'll taunt him and we'll fight him by himself. And all the minions, you can clear the minions one at a time using taunt, make it much easier. And then you just want to keep going and just try and find, there's one here, another minion, so we can taunt him. He can't get past the stairs because he's being silly. We've got cursed. So be very careful. If you get cursed, you're going to take a lot of damage, and if you're fighting 2, 3 at a time with curse, it might end badly, so just be very careful. So if you can, try and fight them one at a time using taunt to your advantage, and it'll be much easier to get through. So don't do what I've done here and just run in. You want to kill all the monsters first, and that's probably the most difficult part of Act 3. It can take a bit of time getting through the maps because the maps are quite big, but it's the council members that are going to be a difficult fight for you. So you should have good decent lightning resistance, 20, 30, 40 if you can, and good fire resistance, looking at least 50 fire resistance. But if you've got 2 valves and a helmet, that's 60 straight away, so you'll be good. So we get through. There are more council members when you get down to the Durance of Hate and to Joriel. So a good little trick on the Barbarian, which I can quickly show you, is we can just leap across the river and ignore all the council members. So we can run down. If you don't want to fight them, you can just run across, be careful running across, and if you're level 18, you will have leap attack, and you can leap attack over this river. Run to the back of the room, and there's Mephisto, who does a lot of lightning damage. Well, lightning and cold. So again, to make the fight easier, you might not have very good cold resistance, we can shop at Ormus and get, it's not Ormus, apologies, the vendor for thawing potions is at the north here, Alcor,
Good to see you again.
and get some So get some thawing potions, and that will make the Mephisto fight much easier. Drink a couple of them. We've now got more cold resistance. Again, take your time. If you need to go back to the town, get more potions, do so. That should get you through to Act 4. And you want to be around level 23, 22, 23, 24, somewhere around that, depending on how you've leveled. If you're not quite that high, a good place to get experience is back in Act 3. You can again go back to Travincle in a new game, but you don't want to fight the council members, because although they will give you good experience, they're difficult to fight. Instead, you want to head back south, and just before we enter Travi, there are two little dungeons, one here to the west and one here to the east. These dungeons they're relatively small dungeons, but for how small they are, there's a decent amount of monsters, and there's always specials and champions. So you can come in here, have a look around. There's a special pack, so you kill these and you'll get really good experience. And so you want to get to around 22, 23, 24. If you can push to 24, you would be better to do that. I would even advise pushing all the way to 25, which will help you later on. Just keep clearing these out, start a new game, come back, clear them out, start a new game, so on and so forth. Get to, I advise 24. If you can push it to 25, it would be better. So that gets you through to Act 4. And Act 4 is a difficult act, but we're going to make it easy. The way we're going to do that is by running past all the monsters. So you should already have you should already have Howl to level 5. If Howl's level 5, plus your character's level 23, 24, 25, when you come down into all of the areas with the monsters, big monster pack can howl and they just run away. We want to ignore all of the trash monsters, and you're just trying to run through. If you just run around the edge, I've already discovered where the map is, so I know it's this direction, but you can just run around the edge, ignore everything. If you get to a big pack like this, just howl and keep running and howl. And just nice and easy, howl, run, howl, run. Get to the next area, keep topping your life up if you need to. And in the Plains of Despair, you're looking for Isur, who is, I've already killed him so I can't show you, but he's normally just like around the middle of the map. So if you just run around the middle, your quest log should, oh, he's actually here. So again, you can howl everything away, and we only want to fight Isur. Howling and kill Isur, going to give you some skill points. I just dropped my weapons before and I forgot about it. So we're going to take him down nice and easy. If you isolate him, he's a relatively easy fight. He just has a lot of life, so it's a long fight. So I might have to go back and get more potions, which I might even have to do myself.
Hail to you, champion.
Don't worry about getting more potions. That's what your gold's for. And as soon as you've killed these, you'll complete the quest once you talk to his soul. It does take a little bit of time to take him down. There we go. His soul rises, you speak to it, and then you go back to town, quest complete. You want to keep running through and look for the next area. The next area again is always on an edge, so you can just run to the edge, keep using Howl to scare the monsters away, and just keep running around the edge until you find the entrance into the next area, which we know is somewhere. I see it on my map, I can't. It's over to, yeah, it's over there to the northeast. If you've got a little bit of movement speed on your boots, you don't even have to howl, you can just run past everything. If you get to a little gate like this, it's best to howl first, and then go through the gate. City of the Damned. The way down is normally somewhere in the middle, so you just run around the map. You don't need to kill anything at all. You just howl everything away. If you get stuck, leap, or you should have leap attacked by now, which, although it uses more mana, you jump much further. Leap attack. You got the stairs, and the waypoint is always next to the stairs. If you need to get more potions, get more potions.
What do you need?
It's always best to keep topped up. If you need staminas, because you're running out of stamina, you can do that. Now, when you're at this point, you should already, hopefully, have decent fire resistance and decent lightning resistance. Like this. So I've got 75 fire. You might not have 75, but you'll probably have 60. So if you've got 60 fire, if you've got 40, 50 lightning resistance, and then your cold and poison are going to be low. You might have 0 cold and 30 poison, because you get 30 poison resistance from stealth. At this point, before we go any further, we want to buy quite a few, half a dozen, 6 or 7 antidotes and thawing potions. Okay. Before we go back down, just drink all of them. It's going to give you a big boost to cold and poison, because when we go down to the River of Flame, there is a lot of magic damage down here, and it's every type of magic. So we want to run through. You want to run through to the end. So these Abyssal Knights are going to do a lot of magic damage. You don't have to kill them. We can ignore everything. We can leap past them. We can howl. Keep your potions ticking. Just get to the end of the map, and you're going to get your waypoint for the River of Flames. Okay, just keep going, just don't need to kill anything, just get past everything. Get your waypoint. Now you've got your waypoint. If you need to, get some more potions. And now we want to kill all the monsters going backwards until we find quest 2, which is the Hellforge. So just take your time, go down, kill everything. If you have to, howl. Well, these aren't going away. So you might still have poison potions, you can use them. Just kill all the monsters, get to the Hellforge. Once you're at the Hellforge, you want to kill the Smith. Don't do what I'm doing here. Don't run in. Make sure you kill all the monsters on your way. Because all of these Abyssal Knights do a lot of damage, and you don't want to get trapped here. And we want to do this quest. Okay? Get out to safety. Do the quest, and you are looking for, ideally, a perfect ruby or a perfect amethyst. Keep everything it drops. So we got a perfect amethyst. What did we get now? It was a perfect amethyst. I think it was a tier rune, and then the flawless emerald and flawless diamond. Keep them all. We're going to use later on, once we get to Nightmare, we're going to use a perfect amethyst to make a better weapon. You might need 2 or 3, so if you only get 1, that's fine. If one of your flawless is an amethyst, that's also fine. And we want 1 perfect ruby as well. So I didn't get any rubies, but I managed to find a flawed ruby a while back when we were playing through, so I will upgrade this. So that's getting through to the River of Flames. Again, take your time, come back, stock up on your potions. And now we're gonna make sure, yeah, I ran out of time portals before, so make sure you don't do that. Just keep your time portals stocked up. Now we're gonna go through and kill Diablo, which is a difficult fight. So back to the River of Flame, and we're going to use leap attack to go forward and skip all the monsters, attack all the way through, keep your potions ticking. If you have to, again, use Howl to your advantage. And as soon as you get to these stairs, the Chaos Sanctuary, this is where it becomes difficult. So if you want to, you can take your time and kill everything. If you're going to kill monsters, your priority is the knights who are casting magic. You want to kill them first because they curse you. And the curses are really nasty. And also, Howl doesn't work on them. So if you want to do that, take your time. Probably best to take your time and go through slow. When you eventually get all the way past them, the circle is relatively safe to go back to town, stock up on potions if you need to.
What do you need?
I've got buy quite a few, so hopefully I don't have to go back to town. Now what we want to do, again, we want to use Howl to our advantage, and we want to kill all the seal bosses. We can Howl, hopefully if we get stuck, jump out. That was a bad teleport really. If you kill all the monsters you won't have to do that. We can ignore him. Again, take your time, kill all the monsters, and we want to pop the seal. Again, do this after you've killed everything. I got cursed there. I'm not going to risk it, there's a lot of things around me. So we discussed this in the last video. You get out of jail card on hardcore is just put escape to pause, save and exit. If you take your time you won't have this issue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through, I'm going to kill everything, get to what I'm trying to explain. I'm going to cut the video roughly around here, kill everything, and then come back into the video. Okay, so I've done that. For reference, it took me 10 minutes. We've cleared the map. We still have to kill the seal bosses, which is what I want to talk to you about. And just for reference, I'm only level 25 at the moment, so you will be around this level. You have to take your time. Remember the little 1-2 combo, 1-2 attack, move back, 1-2 attack, move back. Just really take your time going through. This is a difficult act to get through. So you clear all the monsters, the seal bosses. So starting with the ones on the left first, there isn't really much we can do differently or to make our life easier on these. We can try and howl so that the minions leave the special, but I'm not sure if our howl level will be high enough, so let's check. No, it's not. So we just, unfortunately, are just going to have to fight our way through them. And these will drain your mana a lot, but it's only the special, the unique, that we actually have to kill. So if you can take him down, you could then run away and kill everything. It's probably easier to just kill all there is minions first. Drank through all the mana potions. Okay. So that is actually probably the easiest of the 3 seal bosses. You're just going to have to drink a lot of potions.
Greetings.
But if you're going to die on one, it's probably not that one. So the other 2 tricks are making it easier for the other 2 seal bosses. Now everything's dead now, that's because I've cleared the map. You can see all these items on the floor, all the dead bodies. Just take your time clearing everything. So the boss at the northeast, I can't remember any of the names now. Lord Deceased. This guy hits hard. When I say this guy, I mean his minions. So a trick on this, once we've opened the seal, you just want to move a little bit at a time until you just start to see them on the edge of your screen, and then you want to use taunt to just grab 1 or 2. There we go, got 1. And now I can fight these by themselves, and now they don't have the fanaticism or because I've pulled them away from Lord Deceased, the special. So again, just grab them with Howl and come back and fight them by themselves. This will make this fight much easier and safer. We're not getting cursed. They haven't got fanaticism. And once you've killed them all, you can then kill the unique Lord Deceased, who is relatively easy to kill if he's on his own. It's his minions that will kill you. So take that time, pull them all with taunt and fight them one at a time. And the last seal boss, we're going to do exactly the same. So again, I've cleared all the monsters, all the area. I'm going to pop both seals, run out the area, so we're safe. And then we're going to do the same. Go back in a little bit at a time and try and get 1 or 2 with taunt. You can see how much easier this is. once you get them down to a level you're comfortable with, whether that's killing them all like this or just the majority, that's up to yourselves. And then go in and kill the main guy. So there's still quite a lot there. Howl isn't a high enough level. Because we've pulled them all out now, I'm going to struggle. So 1, 2, run, 1, 2, run, 1, 2, run. That's what you're going to have to do if you pull them like this. Once there's only 2 or 3, you can fight them. And then the final part, Diablo. If you've got good resistance, especially fire and lightning, it makes this fight much easier, but you still have to be careful, especially with his lightning attack. When he uses his lightning, just run around him in a big circle. You want to ideally pull him out to the centre. This is the lightning attack. You will be able to get hit by it a little bit, but not a lot. Keep your potions ticking. Lightning, run away. Lightning, run away. The fire attack is just done. If you've got bad fire resistance, you will absolutely tear through your health. Run out of potions, so we can top them up a little bit, but I will have to go back to town. What you've also got, which will help, if you're level, once you hit 24, not 24, 18, I believe it is. I believe it's level 18, you can get Battle Cry. Just 1 point into Battle Cry will mean you land a lot more attacks. Run out of potions, go to town and get more. You really have to take your time on this fight. The main thing is running away or kiting him when he does that lightning attack. As soon as you've lost a little bit of health, like a fifth, a quarter, just start drinking potions straight away. You don't want to wait until you're at 50%, it's too late then. Nice little spree of no lightning. His fire attack still did a little bit there, so there you go, and he's down. Hopefully that's a nice amulet. But that's how you have to do this fight on the Barbarian. It's a difficult fight, it's a hard fight. If you don't run away when he starts doing that lightning attack, if he does 2 in a row, you're dead. Especially if you just stand there and take all the damage. You have to run away, you have to drink your potions. If it means going back to town 2, 3, 4 times to get more potions, do it. We're on hardcore, if we die, that is it. And then that will take you through. You have to use the town portal, go back to town, talk to everyone around town, talk to Tyrael, you get a red portal, and that'll take you through to Act 5. And Act 5, so you should now be level 25. If you are not 25, if you're 23 and a half, 24, you want to go back to Act 3 and kill all the monsters that are in them dungeons I spoke about. If you are level 25, we can now start leveling in Act 5. If you try and level here at level 24,
Can I help you?
you will get very little experience. It's not worth the time. You will level up really fast in Act 3. So just take 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long it takes you, to get to level 25 in Act 3, and then come back to Act 4. That's all my tips and tricks to get through to Act 5, and in the next video we'll be showing you how to level, what items to start looking out for, and get through Act 5 to complete the game. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.